fun. It's fun. Welcome to another episode of Fill My Hole, the only internet show that's also a podcast, but also a YouTube show. It has holes. Sometimes they fill them. My name is Phil Balabanos, and today I have a very special guest from a faraway land. A land of myth, a land of legend, of giant. I mean, there was one Colossus apparently once, but it fell. And then they used it to build shit with it. But today I have, well, I'll let him introduce himself. I have a young whippersnapper from Greece calling in today on the show. Before we tell you anything about him, I'm just going to tell you the story of how I met George. Let me set the scene. Summer. I think it was 2017. Yeah, it was 2017. I board a random fishing vessel for a pleasure cruise, to just cruise for pleasure. And I meet the captain. That wasn't George. The captain was an interesting fellow. He was an interesting guy. So we start cruising about, and my brother-in-law was with me, who's Italian, and he was talking to this young deckhand who just kept popping his shirt off. And he was standing glistening in the sun. He was a young man. And he says, "This guy's a filmmaker." I said, "That guy's 12 years old. What the fuck are you talking about?" He goes, No, go talk to him. And it was love at first sight, I guess. We had a nice boat ride talking about his aspirations for film and all kinds of different things. George was also my first real subscriber on YouTube. I did my first giveaway. He was the only one who entered, and he won a free knapsack. So that was my intro, George. I'll let you introduce yourself to the people of the internet. Tell them who you is.
Cool. Hi. First of all, thanks for having me on the show. It's my first podcast, really.
Is this your first podcast? Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Guys,
yeah,
it's his first time. Just filling the hole.
And my first English interview, for that matter.
I mean, I wanted to interview a lot of other Greek people, but your English was the best, so I checked with you.
Oh, thank you.
You have that intercontinental European English.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
It's a fake American accent. You can call it that.
That's it. Yes, fake American. I like it. So give us your name. Tell us what you do, where you're at, where you're calling from. Give us all that fun stuff.
Sure. So my name's George Patou, and I consider myself a full-time hobby filmmaker and part-time engineering student.
I mean, you got that all backwards, my friend.
Pretty much, no. That's how I interpret it, pretty much. And
that's fair.
Yes. So filmmaking is my passion. It's what I love doing. That's what I've always been doing. And I got a very strange passion for making stuff, building things and constructing the things and working out how to make stuff work and how to make things out of other things or how to repurpose old things and all that stuff. So I think engineering was just the way to go.
I mean, at first glance, if someone were to say, "Oh, he's an engineering student, but he wants to be a filmmaker," it seems weird, but it makes a lot of sense.
Well, actually, filmmaking is a lot about problem solving, and engineering that's basically the job, right? You're just solving problems, and filmmaking is just you're constantly either if that's just a no budget film that you're doing for yourself, or a small budget production, or a music video, or client work for that matter. You're always and only solving problems. So I guess it's kind of
I remember in film school, one of my teachers was like, all of you want to be big time directors. All of you want to be whatever, Lynch or Spielberg or Tarantino. It was most of you couldn't fucking solve a problem, like the simplest problem. And I've been on enough sets to know that there is always a massive problem. There's always something. So you're 100% right. But even the idea of rigging something.
The one thing you think is absolutely for sure, you think you got down. And it's that happens. So always be prepared for the unthinkable.
The unthinkable, the unimaginable.
The unimaginable.
Where are you calling from, George? I know you're a student at the University in Crete, right?
Yes, exactly.
So you're not in Crete now. You're home. Where's home?
No, due to the pandemic, actually, I live in Greece right now. By the way, I live full-time in Greece, and I grew up in Rhodes, where I'm at right now. And we got this...
Hey, George, what happened?
Sorry, my battery's low. My phone told me my battery was low.
You are plugged in though, right? Like it's not going to die on us.
I'm not plugged in.
Come on, dude. Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I bring on an engineering student, a filmmaker, a Renaissance man.
Very unprofessional.
The most qualified person to use an iPhone for a video podcast and not let it fall apart. He doesn't even plug it in.
Yeah, exactly. So,
how long did you think this was going to be?
Hi, I'm George. I'm awesome. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so George, you're calling from Greece where it's nice and warm. I'm freezing. I left my window open overnight at the studio. Big mistake. So the reason I brought you on, aside from the fact that you can actually speak English, I was perusing the internets, right? And I see this headline. I'll read it here. University students create innovative and inexpensive portable ventilator in Greece. I'm like, yo, that's cool. So I open it up and I see your fucking face. I was like, I know this guy. This guy, we went snorkeling together. So it's not just you. Obviously, you have a partner in this.
Exactly.
What's his name? What's your partner's name?
It's my partner's name was Sotiris Kalantzakis, or if that was too foreign for you, it's Sotiris Kalantzakis.
No, we do foreign here. We do all the foreign.
Oh, okay, great for the foreign, the English speaking audience. And,
I mean, they like it. They think it's interesting.
Oh yeah, cool. Makes it more European, yes.
Yeah.
And Sotiris Kalantzakis, and very, very smart and qualified individual. And we met at our internship at the university.
Mm-hmm.
And he approached me and was like, hey, do you want to make something? Like anything, really. He had a 3D printer at the time. And we were both pretty skilled in 3D design. And he was like, okay, we gotta do something. We want to 3D print something, but it has to be something usable, something useful, and something that would do a lot of good to many people. We wanted to invent something new, and as pretty much every engineer wants to, right?
Yeah.
So then, like 2 weeks later, 2 weeks after that conversation, the first lockdown happened in Greece, and I remember it was February 18th of February, actually.
That was earlier than here, actually.
It was very early. And so we had to drop out of our internship, which was running through the university, which was closed at the time. So we were stuck at home pretty much. Couldn't go outside because it was a hard lockdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our houses are like next to each other. We're literally like neighbors. So you were allowed to go like to a supermarket or to get stuff to somebody who wasn't in need of something. Mm-hmm. So we used that opportunity to go back and forth between our houses and to start designing things that we did not ended up making at all. And then we go online and we see the headlines. It was something like hospitals short on ventilators. Doctors are making life or death decisions over who's getting ventilator or something.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's it, a ventilator. Like nobody has ever made a makeshift DIY ventilator or something. And
correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys, one of the first to do this, not the only ones though. Like this happened a lot, right, during the first lockdown?
Sure.
Yeah.
But we were definitely one of the first, if not the first, to publish a fully functional and fully 3D printable ventilator, at least in Greece.
In Greece, for sure. No, I don't doubt it. In Greece, you were definitely checked.
Yes. If not in Europe, and I'm pretty sure like the MIT did something, but it wasn't 3D printed.
No, it wasn't. It was like, I remember reading about it, but it wasn't as simple and as like, this is an elegant solution. Like, I'm not an engineer, but like, I can understand that this thing is meant to be very simple. So yeah, you guys were definitely one of the first in Europe. I know that. I remember seeing a bunch of articles early on about people trying to solve the ventilator issue. The respirator. Is it a respirator or is it a ventilator? Like, okay, hold on. Back up. Let's fill this hole. What the fuck is it? Like, what does it do for people who don't know?
Exactly. So that's an interesting question, actually. A ventilator and a respirator. A respirator is something that you put on the patient's mouth and nose for short term, and a ventilator ventilates you for quite some time. I believe at least that's the English definition. If I'm mistaken here, right? Because
so
there is
the respirator is breathing for you. The ventilator is getting oxygen into you, right?
I think the respirator, yes.
So this doesn't go down the throat. This is not like.
This is not no. This is not an intubation. An intubation goes down your throat into your lungs in your lung department, anyways, and fills your lungs with oxygen on a certain pressure. Ours does not do that.
So what does yours do?
Ours is for, or the idea at least was, as you said, it had to be very, very simple. The idea was to make something that is printable on one single printer in the shortest amount of time, down from the basic, like the box, to the clamps, over the clamps to the actual ambu bag, the bag that fills with air and actually gives the air to you, and all the valves, everything. And it would run on Arduino. What Arduino is, it's a little microchip that you can purchase online, right? It's
Raspberry Pi, right?
It's a type of microchip, yes, exactly.
So how much does this thing cost? I don't mean like to develop. Obviously, you had prototypes and a bunch of things got wasted. But like now that the plans, the 3D, what's the word I'm looking for? The schematic?
No, the basic, the structure, the schematics, or the plans, anyways.
Yeah, now that that's done, how fast can one of these get printed, and for how much?
We printed ours in a total of 2 days, actually. No, not true. 3 days. Sorry, not 3 days, because we had to print the ambu bag out of a flexible material called TPE, which is available on the market for everybody. And the total cost ran us about from 100 to 150 euros, depending on where you get your Arduinos from and your film, your actual plastic.
And what about the programming? Not for you guys, but now that it exists, if a hospital wanted to, like, worst case scenario, Greece exceeds, which I think it's coming close to exceeding its ICU capacity.
Yes.
And it needs to use your respirators, right?
Yes.
Do they have to program each of these, or are the files now available? You created them already.
The files are available, and we wanted to publish the schematics and everything on what's it called? Thingiverse? Yeah, Thingiverse.
Yeah.
We wanted to make the thing entirely open source and accessible for everybody. So if the worst case scenario hits, as it did in Italy and in Spain, I believe, so that Greece wouldn't share that fate, and hopefully we don't. But yeah. And the respirator, the prototype exists. It's there. It's ready for using. We used it actually on a dummy. We did what's called a simulation on a dummy in the health the health science department of our university.
Right.
The nursing department, actually, and they had this like crazy, super realistic dummy guy,
Yeah, those CPR dummies.
Exactly, the CPR, but like a really, really fancy one, like a full-size human thing. It looked like a dead person, and we did an intubation on this guy, and then we put our respirator on him. And actually, I didn't explain that. You put a mask on your dummy,
or your patient.
Yes.
Maybe the patient's a dummy. I don't know his life,
Exactly. You never know. And you plug that into our respirator, and it gives you air for hopefully for as long as you, or as short as you need it.
I mean, the whole thing runs on like an alarm system battery. It's like 12 volts, right?
Yes, that was.
That's pretty cool.
One of the biggest achievements that we wanted to make, and the biggest goals that we had, was making this thing as portable as possible. Simple, effective, and portable. And the idea was, you print it out, we send you the electronics and everything as a package, the filament, the schematics, and the software would come on a stick or something, and you get the filament. So we just send it out in masses immediately, and you can start printing right away.
This wasn't we're gonna save the world from COVID. This was we want to make something, and this is what people need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. It never was. First of all, we did not expect it to make such rounds in the news. We never thought it would go.
What is the how has it been in Greece? Like, have people reached out? Like, I know I saw it on Greek Reporter, which is, I mean, I guess it's a news agency, kind of. I've seen some pretty sketchy things on there.
Let's call it a news agency, but no, it's really not that. Not that.
What
crazy.
About at home? What has it been like at home or in Europe in general?
Look, we published a video and a photograph of the thing, and the same evening as we finished the software and we used it the first time, and we plugged in the battery and saw if it would run on the battery, and it was successful. And that was just us at Sotiris' home, right? Mm-hmm. I believe at 4 a.m. as we finished.
Is that why you guys have tired eyes, bedroom eyes?
Oh my god! Yes. Oh my god! We were working like day and night. We didn't know how long the lockdown was, right? And we thought like, okay, we need this now. We need this thing right now. So we were working day and night basically for over a week or two, literally day and night. And if either that was just real engineering work or just studying for stuff. Yes, we published a post on my Facebook page and describing what parts we used, what types of plastic, what the production process was like, a few pictures of the printers, stuff like that. Published it. I go home, I fall into bed, and I want to sleep 2 days in a row, right? Yeah. And at 7, we published at 5 o'clock. At 7 o'clock in the morning, so Diris calls me up and he's like, dude, we're on the front page of like Nakriti, this like or whatever, this newspaper
publication, local one, yeah,
the local newspapers basically. And I was like, yeah, sure, fuck off. I thought it was a prank or something. And turns out I woke up later in the day, and I woke up and I look on the front page and there's my fucking face, my tired ass face.
I'm looking at it right now. I have it right here, just right here. There you go.
No! Oh no way!
It's not that.
Exactly. Yes, my tired ass face, and so he's with his beanie, and us holding our little thing that we made. And it was pretty. I think the biggest crazy achievement, anyways. Yeah, and I was like, cool. That's amazing, and that's it, right? That's gonna be it. That's all the hype gets. And I think like an hour later, after an hour, for the next 2 weeks, my phone would not stop ringing ever.
Wow.
My phone just rang all the fucking
time. When was
this
published, this article that I found? Okay, it is from April. Yeah, it's old. I had seen it, but they reshared it lately. So I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
February, the end of February. I don't know.
No, I'm talking about this Greek Reporter. It's from April.
Oh, I don't know. I lost track.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at it right now. But okay, so basically you became like lockdown famous.
Yes, absolutely. No, we were the news, the media.
All those sexy bitches just throwing their masks at you. Ooh, George. Like that, yeah?
Yeah, no, the rulers and the pencils and all the
it must have coming home though. Coming home to Rhodes, which is much smaller than, I mean, it's small. It's a big island, but it's still small. That must have been interesting.
The coming home, okay, yeah. I went home for, I believe after Easter. It was after like Orthodox Easter, right? I went home for a week, and you know how it is, right? The villages and the city.
Yeah. Not by the way, and for everyone watching,
everybody knows everybody.
For everyone watching, George is like where, I mean, I don't know actually exactly where you live, but you're from the same place as like my wife's family, right?
Yeah,
The same
exactly.
town. It's the same town. Like when I told Anna that I was gonna bring you on the show, she's like, "Who the hell are you talking about?" I go, "Remember the half naked kid from the boat?
Oh my
He
God.
made a respirator." She's like, "What are you talking
Oh,
about?"
man.
So she called her mom, and her mom's like, "Which kid? Where does he live? Who's his dad?" I was like, "This is great. This is great. This is the
They
epitome of
always
like
ask. They
village
never
life."
ask your name. They never ask your name. By the way, they always ask who's his dad.
Yeah, no
Who's
one
this
cares
kid's
about
dad?
you.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you have kids one day, you'll have your vengeance. You'll be their dad.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how it
Anyways,
works.
yeah, go on.
Anyways, and no, actually, in Herakleion and Crete went completely viral. We went on national TV for like we had like over a stretch of 2 weeks,
That's pretty
daily
cool.
daily 3 interviews. Two
I
were
mean,
pre-recorded.
if you ever need funding for like a thesis, something you want to build, you have it now.
Yeah,
Like
no,
you're
no,
the kid who built the iron
we got
lung.
great connections.
Yeah.
That was the one big win for us. I got to say, we didn't get filthy rich. No, it wasn't
No,
for the money.
obviously. It's
As I
open
said,
source. Yeah.
exactly, it is open source, and as soon as you publish something, you lose all the rights for the patent. And we knew that. That was clear from the beginning. And yes, so it was never about the money really, or the fame or anything, and which we didn't think we'd get anyways. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it went viral, crazy viral. We had
I mean,
crazy. After your phone rings every 10 minutes, you got 3 live interviews in the biggest news channels of the country, right? You're on news. You're getting calls from family and friends and people you never met. That
ex-girlfriends.
yes, for fuck's sake. And
Yeah, you can swear on this show. It's fine. You can swear here. It's a safe
Can I
space.
curse?
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, great.
Don't say anything very racist though. Like a little racist, like haha racist, maybe.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I mean, I know you're European, so your racism is different than here.
I got black humor, man. I got a pretty
like that.
Sense of humor.
Like what you just said. Having said that, I know what you meant because I speak Greek.
Yes, but
so I know you just translated
you're not
it. But
to
saying that,
yeah, I know.
No, the English expression is dark humor.
Oh, dark
humor. What you just said was something else in English.
Yes, okay. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, there you go. So there's a reason at the beginning of this interview when I first, started the recording, I called you a Renaissance man, right? So in the midst of a lockdown, in an unprecedented global pandemic, you science your way out of it, right? You build this respirator with Sotiri. And then, I mean, I see the article and I think it's interesting. And a few weeks later, again, during an unprecedented lockdown throughout the entire world, I see you release a travel show.
Yeah.
Like the trailer for a travel show with a Top Gun logo.
Yeah.
So first of all, I can't even put these two things together because they're they don't make sense in my head. But this you didn't do with Sotiri. This you did with another friend of yours.
Exactly.
Who's going to join us right now. Wahib, why don't you come on to the stream and join us in the hall?
Hello.
Are you with us? Wahib.
Hey guys.
Wahib,
yep.
Tell everyone your name because I don't want to slaughter your last name.
So it's pretty easy. Wahib Nashashibi.
Honestly, fuck you.
From Jerusalem, actually.
Wait, fuck. Hey, that's not easy, man. That's not easy for anyone.
Like, you guys are Greeks. You're the last people ever allowed to talk about hard last names.
I'm not saying they're easy. I'm just saying don't tell people it's easy. It's like when the doctor tells you the colonoscopy is not going to hurt at all. Okay?
Oh, man.
Just here you go, and then just jam it in. I mean, you stuttered when you said it. You had to take a breath in the middle of your last name. What is it, Nashashibi?
Nashashibi. Nashashibi.
Okay, I mean, I don't have it in front of me. I'm going off of memory here. I mean, it's a lot harder than Patou. So
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Tell me the romance. Tell me the bromance here.
A little bit.
How does Wahib from where? You're from Jordan, right?
Ooh.
Or you live in Jordan?
Yeah, I'm half Jordanian, half Moroccan, actually. Yeah. Okay, I live No, actually, I live in Greece, in Crete.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, there
I'm a
goes the
pilot
story.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
but I'm half Jordanian, half Moroccan.
Okay.
And I live in Greece. And one day, my friend told me to go to like a student party in this place called Jackson Hole, was it, George? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Jackson Hole. Anyways.
They're so cute. Go on.
Yeah. And that's where I met Alain Delon in front of you, the half naked kid.
Yeah, the half naked kid.
I wasn't half naked back then. I wasn't bad.
Talking about how he's yeah.
So hold on, guys. I'm realizing that because we're basically
talking about how he's an engineer.
Guys, because we're on like such a wide Zoom range here, like in different countries, two of which are notorious for bad internet, one of them being Canada. Take a second between each other, like so you don't step on each other's words, okay?
So what happened is that I saw this guy in Jackson Hole in the student party, and of course he's talking about how he's a filmmaker / engineer, of course. So of course I had to come in with my cool stuff also, pilot. That's enough. I don't need.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did not need a filmmaker / engineer. Pilot's more than enough.
True.
What type of pilot are you?
No, I'm
anyone.
I'm a flight instructor.
So you're a flight instructor in Crete?
Yes, sir. I finished there and stayed there.
Commercial flights or small flights with private jets?
Now, if we're gonna dive deep into that, it's gonna take a long time. But
give me the short story.
Yeah, the short story. Every single pilot graduates, commercial license, private license, whatever it is, they graduate only flying smaller planes, single and multi-engine planes. That's it. Now, it's the job of the airline, or if they have shitload of money, they can go and do their own type rating and then fly the Airbus and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like the big
yeah.
But that's the gist of it. But no, we work on smaller planes and graduating commercial pilots and private pilots with the IASA license, like with the European license. That's
right.
The general.
Yeah, I actually know what that is. I was shooting private planes for a year.
Lovely.
Oh, we have a sick delay on this conversation.
So, yeah, I don't know why. It's weird.
It's only on your end though. So I'm not gonna interrupt you. I'm gonna let you tell me how the show's called Two Guys Travel, right?
Exactly.
I'm gonna let you tell me how Two Guys Travel came to be. George, you've been speaking for like 45 minutes. No one cares what you have to say anymore.
No.
Let Wahib take over.
Go ahead.
Well, we became friends after not liking each other a lot at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
We became really friends. We used to go on hikes, road trips, and everything. And one time we were sitting, actually this summer, we were sitting at our favorite pub, taverna, you can call it. And we're just talking about what we're planning to do like next year or by the end of the year if the corona status like improved. And one thing led to another, where I was talking about I want to go to Spain. He's like, yeah, let's go to Spain. And then he was like, hey, I have my filming gear. Filmmaker. So he's like, hey, let's start filming shit together. I was like, that's a good idea. Then we sat there thinking about it a little bit, and then like he just looked at me and was like, shouldn't we just like, let's start tomorrow? Like we're stuck here anyways, so let's just start. And we took his little car and just had a head off around the island. And because he lived there more than me, so he knows the places. And we just started driving around, and it all started how? Like it was all kind of goofy, fun things to do together. Like we're just gonna film it, say jokes, and it slowly blew up, slowly into, hey, let's make it an official series on YouTube. Let's start with season number 1. And yeah, that's how it went. Like literally.
For people who don't know the TV culture in Greece, like I'm sure a lot of people don't, travel shows are fucking massive in Greece. And I only realized it because they're not here. I mean, they exist here. But like the last time I was in Greece, I became obsessed with what the fuck was it? World Party.
Yeah.
I was like, every night I was like, oh, it's World Party. Fuck whatever we're doing, 11 o'clock. And then I came back and I was like, I don't know what happened to these guys. I got to find it on YouTube now. So like, it's a very different vibe than the kind of travel shows we have like on this side of the Atlantic. Here, they're much more, I mean, they're structured differently, right? These are like Europe has especially Greece has a very different approach to these types of shows. And obviously you guys have access to like prime fucking traveling. Like if I did a traveling show, I would be driving to before Corona, like I drive to New England.
And why we had the idea and why we were like, hey, okay, let's do something right now. It was before the second lockdown, just to make that sure. And we had access to these amazing locations because Crete is an island.
Crete's nuts.
In Greece. So you're surrounded by blue as fuck water, great beaches, and beautiful weather pretty much, any time of the year. And
how long, so you have how many episodes that are ready of this show right now that are completed?
Right now we got 5 episodes. The first season is going to be 5, maybe 6. Maybe we're going to squeeze
the first season is Crete, right?
Yes, pretty much. No,
that
actually.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's great. That's what you call the first season, Crete.
Yes, the Crete trip.
Island of Mystery. It's not really mysterious. Hey, have you guys ever gone? This is a super random segue because my last episode was about Bigfoot. Have you ever gone to that castle? What's it called? Frago Castello.
Frago Castello. Where
is that? What it's called? It's somewhere in Crete. There's like this legend of like men in the dew that walk. Some atrocity during the Second World War. They're called the Drosulites. Ever heard of this? It's like an urban myth of the internet.
Oh man, no, I know what you mean. Yes, no, I've never been there. Actually, no.
Wahib, any idea what I'm talking about?
Man, you can see my face.
Season 2, they go fucking supernatural Crete.
Fuck yeah, we have to.
So
we go Sasquatching, man.
There's no Sasquatch in Crete, but there's like angry old guys, so that works.
Oh yeah,
but they have guns. They have guns, and like, what's that area of Crete where everyone's always shooting everyone at the cops there?
Oh, Irakio.
I know, yeah.
I know you. Yeah, I know you. Yeah, that's the place.
Okay, but still, they go outside. They go outside instead of pyrotechnics, man. They go outside with their Kalashnikovs. So.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, Crete is basically Greece's, I'd say maybe Texas.
Oh yeah.
Like that. I would say that's probably the best way to. Maybe Kentucky. Maybe Kentucky.
For me, I call it home.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
For me, Greeks are Arabs, but they speak Greek.
I mean, I can definitely half get behind that culturally. Like I can see it, but yeah, I mean, it's not the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Not so different. I mean, culturally speaking, Greeks have more in common with the East than the West, right?
Yeah, it's pretty close. Like you're talking about food, culture, family orientation, like all of that stuff. Like
yeah.
Like literally, I felt like home being there. Like I traveled and I lived in Poland. I traveled all over Europe, but I could confidently say Greece and especially Crete. It's very close to home. Like
I mean, it's also like geographically close to home.
Yeah,
Crete's right there. Like you can spit on Africa. I mean, like sand from the Sahara hits Athens once a year.
Yeah.
It's not that far. And I think people tend to forget that. I mean, are Greeks Arabs? Not really. No. I mean, even culturally, we're not. But there's definitely there's a bond there. It's
actually that depends on what like region in Greece you're at. If you're near the Dodecanese or Rhodes for that matter, you have a lot of Turkish influence in your culture, right? Because
I mean, it's right there.
Yes, and because the Turks used to have that part of Greece.
I mean, I thought Rhodes was under Venetian control for like 5 centuries. I mean, when my mother-in-law, yeah, I mean, if
Yeah,
eventually it became Italian.
there was Turkocratia and there was Italocratia. And the Turks were, when were the Turks there?
They were here before.
They were before.
Yeah, I mean, they were. I mean, when the Ottoman Empire spread from like, I mean, everywhere, because like literally everywhere, all of the Arabian Peninsula, like North Africa,
Yeah,
Greece,
sure.
like they had the millet system. Like Greece was not one millet; like it was split up. Like the millet Rum, which was like Rome, right, because of Byzantium, is like the mainland mostly, which is why like certain provinces still carry that name, like Rumeli. But like in the south where I'm from, like there was no, I mean, most of the south was conquered, but like my dad's side, like they were more or less free the whole time. They were just pirates. I mean,
Sure.
They just kind of did their own thing. Sometimes they fought the Turks, sometimes they paid them, sometimes they took money from them, they just did whatever. I mean, Greece is a really interesting geography, I mean, historical geography because of the mountains. So you're right, depending on where they're at, culture is different. Like I would say that the region that both sides of my family come from, much more in common with like the Balkans, Albania, like that's the vibe. But it's not so different from like Arab culture because Ottoman culture kind of was a mix of everything, right? So it's, I mean, calling one thing, like saying that's this and that's that is, I mean, it's a slippery slope.
It's pretty much impossible in Greece. Like you can't really define people there or the culture. The culture.
Greece has what 99.9% homogeneous ethnic. It's one of the most hilarious statements I've ever heard. No. It really is. Like if his name was George, I wouldn't know, especially from Crete.
Obviously.
When I arrived in Rhodes for the first time, I was like, why does everyone look like this? Everyone looked different than what any Greek I had ever seen was. I mean, George is dark featured, like it's not that odd to me, but like everyone was like light eyes, light skin, light color hair. I'm like, where are all these blonde people? What the fuck is happening? So I'll move on from this random segue. What is like, let's go straight into how can people watch it? When can people watch it? Why should they watch it? I'll leave that to you guys. I'm not going to sell your show for you. Fuck.
Okay. Okay, so when can people watch it? We want to launch in March. First episode's going to drop in March. Hopefully there's going to be a trailer at the end of February. And why should people watch it? Well, it's basically just us having fun, fucking around and, attempting to capture the beauty basically of some places of Crete. And in little packaged in little cinematic shorts, and you get the usual George and Wahib kind of stupid vlog segments, right? Yeah, where we just we're just dumb and we're in a car.
Beautiful, majestic island of Crete. I mean, you have no lack of like actual locations that you can. I mean, I've never been to. Actually, jokes aside, I've never been to Crete.
What?
It's one of those things that I'm always like, oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
You have to, man.
Like a big enough trip on its own. Like you don't go to Greece and then like do 2 days in Crete. That doesn't make sense.
No. It needs at least 2 weeks. Like
exactly.
You need 2 weeks
around,
minimum to
meet the people, see the places. It's amazing. Great holidays, man. It's perfect for holidays, for vacation. Really.
No, I'm not disagreeing on that. It's just that because I was saying how great it is, but I've never actually been. I'm just like putting a disclaimer because every time we say we're gonna go, it's like we don't have enough time. Like the last time I was there, we were there for a month, but like we did 2 weeks on the mainland. I went to see family. We did 2 weeks in Rhodes. And Crete's not nearby. Like it's not like where we go is anywhere near each other. Like it's two opposite ends of Greece, right?
Yeah.
But is it a work issue or is it just scheduling family?
No, it's not scheduling family. It's hard to take more than a month off.
Right.
Like, even if you would tie it in,
even if you would tie it into like a working from afar kind of thing and making a documentary or something.
I mean, who's paying me? If someone's paying me, yeah.
Sure.
No problem. I mean, the last time I was there, I was working the first 2 weeks from Rhodes. I was delivering projects.
And you can't live off of stock footage, so.
You can. You absolutely can. I actually just got an email this right before we started this interview. I got an email that I made $27.
Oh wow!
From
congratulations.
Stock footage that I shot 3 years ago. The interior of the Dassault Falcon 2000. I shot the interior and I put it up because I had access. Anyways, neither here nor there this conversation. Sorry, Wahib, what'd you say?
No, nothing. I was thinking about $27. That's like 4 coffees, 5 maybe.
That's a very expensive coffee.
Well, you don't live in Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what life or expensives are like in Jordan, honestly.
Fuck, man. It's like the second most expensive Arabic city, like Amman, capital city.
Yeah.
Compared to the income.
Really?
Like, the average income. And in my point of view, I don't know how you can justify that, but it is what it is right now.
I guess inflation?
I don't think inflation. If you look at our currency, well, yeah, the economy is not that great. It was actually rising before COVID, but no, our currency is kind of strong. You can put it up there with the strong ones.
What is the currency in Jordan?
In general, living expenses in Amman, it's the second or third most expensive Arabic city. It's Dubai, Amman, Casablanca, and then the rest.
So even if you went to your other side of the family, it's still too expensive for you.
Yeah.
It's still above, yeah.
No.
Like in Casablanca. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, but that's pretty crazy. I don't really know much about Jordan, to be completely honest, because I'm Greek, but I never lived in Greece. Jordan is a very far away place in my mind.
Well, you can start to get to know it. Starting me and George are actually planning to do our second season here.
Yeah, second season in Agrabah. I love it.
It's gonna be all over Jordan. This one's gonna be much bigger, much longer. We're gonna have a bigger budget for it, and of course, it all depends on the epidemic. On the pandemic that's happening right now. Most likely, it's gonna happen after the measures are lifted. So we're gonna have the freedom of travel. Right. There's no restrictions. We're actually really looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be great. It's going to be lovely.
You said something just now. You said something. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to show. All I know of Jordan is Petra. That's literally it, right? Obviously. But you said something. You said budgets, right? Bigger budgets. Yeah. Did you guys have a budget for this first season?
No, we paid out of our own pockets.
That's still a budget. That's still a budget. What did this cost you?
Fuel money. Fuel money, man. The budget was fuel money, and we used to pay. And the lunches basically, and the beers maybe, the occasional beer and coffee.
Coffee isn't any budget for a film. That makes sense. But how is this shot? So you're a pilot. You're an untrained. Not untrained, but you're not formally trained, George. I'm pointing to you on the screen as if people can see where I'm pointing.
Okay.
So, Wahib, you're a pilot. George, you're an engineer. With years of practice, you've yourself taught at filmmaking. I know you have a gimbal because I can see it on the shelf. What is that? A Ronin?
No. That is not the good stuff. This is okay. It's okay. It's good. It's good. We shot the first season on it. It survived. It's great. It's the Tech AK 2000 something.
Oh, China. Very nice.
That's the one big thing that we managed to do on these trips is probably ruin each other's innocence. So, not that way. But I just making that clear. No, not that way.
I'm gonna have to edit this so hard. So let's get back to some things that won't get us banned from YouTube. How is this shot? Wahib, can you shoot at all, or is George doing all the shooting?
No, actually, he taught me a lot. Before we started, and while we were filming, a lot of the shots that I took, when he's in frame, it's me taking the shots.
Obviously,
so you can see that you can actually see the improvement by the end of the season.
Absolutely. He didn't know how to turn the camera on. Let's start it from there.
Literally,
and,
like I've never used
didn't know how to
anything
turn the camera on, despite maybe a photo camera or something, but like a DSLR or something, or a mirrorless camera or something. Nothing. He didn't know how to set the ISO or anything, let alone use a gimbal, right? And
I mean, most people don't know how to use a gimbal. I mean, at least as a pilot, you know what a gimbal is, right?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's a start. Because I've been with people like on sets who it's their first time. I'm like, get the gimbal, and they're like, what the fuck is a gimbal? What? It's what is that? Okay. What's that thing on in a flight deck? That's a gimbal. The horizon? No, what is it called?
No, the attitude.
Yeah, that's a gimbal, right?
Yeah. No, it has a gyroscope in it. Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's a gyroscope. That's right. Yeah. I mean, they're not so different, I guess.
No, not very different.
So okay, so the pilot learns to shoot some footage. George is just taking his shirt off all the time, right?
I had to fight with him, like, please keep it on. He's like, no, I need to show it.
I mean, look, you got to get the people watching, and sometimes if the landscape,
he's the good-looking
for the viewers, man, it's all for those, the subscribe for the fans. It's all for the fans.
You do it for the gram.
Sacrificing myself for the fans.
Man, he's the good-looking one. We need to use him. What can I say?
I know.
For brown Arab boy, it's not happening.
I mean, listen, different people have different things. Don't knock it, man.
Exactly.
You got like a vibe. You got the hoodie on. You got like the hoodie. You got the glasses with the bridge. Kind of like a hipster haircut happening. Who knows?
Oh no, man! Before that, like while we were filming, I had a bun.
Oh yeah, I had a man bun.
Really?
Yeah,
wow, Crete has ruined you, huh?
Oh yeah, big time, big time.
So, but like the show itself, you guys are traveling about. You're like, I haven't seen any episodes, right? For all I know, I'm now pitching the worst show on the internet. I don't know, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
But you guys will have to tune in March to find out yourselves, which means you still got to watch. But my question is, what type of travel show is it? Is it like we go here, we do some silly things, we look at some beautiful stuff, or are you guys like engaging the locals, going and talking to people? Like, what's the vibe?
Okay, so first of all, that was the dream. Basically, we would go up to like, okay, let's take Matala, the Matala trip, which is the first episode. It's going to drop in March, and we went to this place called Matala Beach, and it's this little village basically in Crete, in the the south side of the north side, right? South side.
Where Matala is.
Sorry, I got it all mixed up. Anyways, the south side of Crete, and it's a very famous hippie place, right? So you go there and you expect to see a bunch of sky-high hippies. But it was after the first quarantine run, right? So it was after the first time the pandemic hit, and there was no tourists there except for a bunch of Germans, and no hippies. So we get there.
I mean, Germans are the opposite of hippies.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So the entire what's it called? The entire the feeling of the episode, the vibe of the episode completely shifted, right? So you get there, you're us guys just fucking around whatever and being stupid, and then we expect to see some high hippies, and we wanted to interview them and ask them about the place and their story and what it means to them and all that stuff. And all we get is a bunch of German tourists with cameras. And walking around this
see, that's not racist because you're half German, so that's okay.
It's not racist. I can see that. I can see that.
He's okay, guys. Don't jump him. Wahib, you speak Greek fluently, I assume. You live there? You work there?
And you assumed wrong, actually.
Sorry. I was not expecting that.
Look.
Okay, so we're gonna pause then. We're gonna figure out how you did a travel show in Greece, not speaking any Greek. Forget how you live and work there. Let's not even talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my excuse, as always, is that aviation or the aviation industry speaks English.
This is true.
Yeah. Most of the students, or let's say some students at my school, are from abroad, are foreigners. Mm-hmm. And even the Greeks are encouraged to speak in English. Yeah?
Makes sense.
Too. Number two, I live in Crete, which is one of the most touristic places in Greece. So, like, let's say because I lived in 2012 in fucking Perea,
Mm-hmm.
in the north, in Thessaloniki, that's where I felt pressured that I need to learn the language. But I only stayed there. It's like I only stayed for like 8 months, and then I left. And then when I came back to Crete, which you go to a fucking kiosk with a 70-year-old, he can speak English with you. So I never
really
had, yeah. No, really, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
like
that
they
is
know
not-
the basics. You can
that is not
communicate.
that is not the experience I've had. Mind you,
Yeah, I'm confused right now. I lived here for over 14 years. I've never seen a 70-year-old kiosk guy talk English back to me or something when I
mean, but
when
you
I
speak
first-
Greek, it's different.
Yes, but I oftentimes I am not, with Greek people around, and then I talk and I speak in English or something.
Look, Greeks are infamously good at being able to communicate in a second language, like as compared to other European countries. Like in Italy, for example, good luck. Getting a sandwich if you don't speak Italian is a whole thing. Like you need some basic Italian, even in Rome, in the most touristic regions. They don't speak English. Maybe they'll speak a bit of German or something.
Yeah.
But Greece, like anyone I know who's traveled who isn't Greek, yeah, they can get by. The 70-year-old kiosk guy, like the Periptera speaking English, that blows my mind a bit.
Actually, because the one next to my place, like next to Talos, where I was living,
Yeah.
No, the guy was able to speak and communicate with me. Like
That's
this was
interesting.
just an example to talk about. Like I never had the pressure, like I never felt the pressure or the need to learn the language when I was in Crete.
And how does that roll over into the show?
Hmm?
So how does that roll over into the show? Like you guys are traveling, they must think you're like a foreign travel show or something.
No, that's a beautiful thing. He speaks Greek. Like in the show, it's an English show.
Yeah,
So like, we speak in
that
English.
much I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but the communicating part with the locals or whatever, he's my guy. So yeah, I
So
just
it's like-
hang in there, holding
like
the game and stuff.
it's Wahib does Greece basically.
Yeah,
That's the funny thing. That's
I like
the
that.
funny thing. Actually, I have to communicate with the people, and when Greeks, especially old Greeks, see a foreign guy, a brown guy,
with a bum.
they get kind of
Do they?
maybe let's say a little bit nervous, and then you're
Really?
like, oh no, he's okay. He works here. What does he work at? He's a pilot. Ooh.
How does that help the situation? If they're nervous about the brown guy, the fact that he's flying shouldn't help anyone.
Their mind doesn't go there. They're not Americans. They're not the
That's
Greek
true.
Americans.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, nothing to do with 9/11. Their mind doesn't even go there. So they're just amazed. They think he works at Aegean or something.
That's gonna be you when you come to Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you're gonna be
it-
the guy holding the shit, and I'm gonna be the guy like, no, he's okay.
Yeah. And then
You know what it's going to be in Jordan? It's going to be a lot of speaking in Arabic while George looks confused, and then whoever he's speaking to just looks over at George and they're like, haram. That's what it's going to be. Like, he's cute.
I know how to say cheers. Cheers, the yamas thing. I know how to say that in
How do you say that in Arabic? I have no idea.
Basaha.
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 Basaha means in your health.
Oh, that means same as in Greek. That makes sense.
Yeah, yamas.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now, I don't know Greek at all. Like I understand.
You must know some, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Like I know the important things. I know how to order my beer. I know how to order my gyros.
Your what? Your yeah.
And I know how to swear.
I mean, that's about all you need.
Yeah.
I think so.
Hey, what about how about the coffee?
Oh, of course, my coffee. Like en Alfredo espresso schietto.
There you go.
That's good. I mean, you've been there a long time. I'd expect a bit more, but that's fine.
No, I know more stuff. I know how to count.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding, man. I'm
Yeah,
obviously just messing. I know Greek Canadians who speak less Greek than you. Don't worry.
Well, that's a point for me.
I also know Arabs who speak more Greek than you, but I mean,
Yeah,
they're
of
Greek
course.
Orthodox. That's
Yeah,
right.
of course.
This episode is brought to you by fucking nonsense. That's what this is brought to you by. Actually, I'm going to do a blatant plug. If you guys like what you're seeing, but not so much them, mostly me. I mean, you can also check out the morning show, which is Monday. That's not true. It's not Mondays. It's Wednesday mornings and Friday mornings live on YouTube at 10 a.m. over at Pantelis Comedy. Most of you probably know about it. We do the news. We do a lot of nonsense like this. Actually, this episode has kind of descended into that kind of vibe.
Yes.
Yeah. On the Pantelis network. We've recently lived through some drama on the Pantelis network if you've been following. So you guys can tune in next Wednesday and see what's going on with that. Crete, season 1. 2 guys travel. By the way, I hate your title. 2 guys travel. I'll tell you why I hate your title. Because it was a show on YouTube that was terrible 12 years ago.
No. Really?
Yes.
2 guys travel.
Yes.
No way.
Is this the first you're hearing of this?
Yes, we looked it up, man. We researched because we wanted to be unique, you know?
So it's a channel on
YouTube. As you could be.
It exists. They haven't posted in 12 years, but I have a solution for you. Fear not.
Well, and we know. Wait,
travel.
These guys travel.
Yeah, because 2 guys travel. It doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I know. I got that a lot.
Fair. There is a travel agency for gay couples that is called 2 Guys Travel. So we expected a lot of confusion.
That's not what I meant, but I just meant like syntactically in English, it's weird.
Yeah, that's why we chose.
I mean, as the only native English speaker here, I'm going to chime in. But these guys travel is good.
For the info, actually.
Yeah, but don't worry. I understand that. Like, there's a gay. Is that a real thing?
There is, yeah.
Interesting.
It is a real thing, and we learned about it as soon as we had set up the email address for the YouTube channel, because 2 Guys Travel was already taken.
This is the greatest thing ever.
And we Googled them, and we emailed them, and they emailed me back, and they were like, "Yeah, hi. So we are a kind of like a travel agency,
boutique gay travel agency."
Yes,
that's okay. It's not so bad. I mean,
travels for
There's a podcast called Fill My Hole, FILL, and it's about gay guys and their experiences on Grindr. I'm not judging.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
That's fine. I mean, it does make more sense than mine does. I'm not gonna lie. But let's go back to the show. Let's go back to
what holds you, Phil.
It all depends, George. It all depends.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know if you guys know the story behind the title of this show. It was just a joke. It was something Pantelis said on an episode of This Just Thing. It became this like running gag that I was never going to do, this like investigative journalism series. And then the pandemic happened. I mean, the pandemic changed a lot for everyone, right?
Yeah,
sure.
What's that been like I mean, you're back in Jordan now, Wahib, right? How long have you been back?
Around a month and a half, 2 months.
Oh, okay. Recent.
Yeah.
And are you not
most of the time?
I mean, are you allowed to come back and forth now? What's going on in Europe? I don't even know.
Now in Jordan, no, they're not going to close the airports. They're not going to full lockdown. Like, they just abandoned the idea. Now, actually, you go to work, pubs are open, bars are open, like except clubs. I don't know why not. Like, everything's open. Just open everything.
Is there a lot of cases?
We have, like, I think now they're dropping. We're getting around 800 a day, something like this.
That's I mean, that's not nothing, but it's not a lot either.
Yeah. And they started vaccinating people now. So
completely different experience than like George. George, what's going on in Greece right now?
So what's going on here is basically we're on a hard lockdown, on the second hard lockdown, and you're not allowed to step a foot outside your door unless you are going strictly to certain locations, such as a doctor, pharmacy, the supermarket, to get the essentials. And you have to send, that's the best part, you have to send the Greek government an SMS to where you are heading. Not kidding, you have to send a certain number, the number that is specific for the location you want to go to. Your name, surname, your address, and the date is kind of highlighted. I wonder
if anyone's checking that.
No, they are. Okay, so the police may stop you at any point of your journey, right? either on the street or in front of the supermarket. And hold on, if they catch you without either the SMS, the essential SMS, a handwritten paper that you say the exact same information on, that is signed by you, right? And you have to have the date and the initial starting time, right? When you started going on your journey. Ridiculous. And your ID. If you don't have one, like all of these three, or at least the two of them, ID and SMS or ID and paper, you get fined 300 euros.
I mean, that's not bad, 300 euros. You should see what's going on here.
That's, look, if you look at the financial situation that Greece is in, 300 bucks is not that great, really not that great.
If you get caught, I can't speak for all of Canada, but in Quebec,
or going to the supermarket and get toilet paper, right? You get fined out 300 euros, so that's
pretty crazy. I mean, all these fines, I mean, they're supposed to be deterrents. They're supposed to use better judgment. I can't speak for Greek police, which I do not hold in very high regards, the Greek police. But the police here have been terrible at using their better judgment. I mean, if you get caught out of, so curfew starts at 8 p.m. in Montreal. Yeah, exactly. It gets dark at 4 here, by the way. So anyways.
Here it's 9. Here it's 9 p.m. The curfew.
The curfew. Jordan, 12. Oh, you guys have a curfew.
Oh, yes.
12 o'clock.
You have a curfew?
Yeah, from 12 to 5.
What's the point of that?
No clue. Okay, everything's fucking open, but there's a curfew.
That makes no sense. Okay, moving on from that. TGT, Top Gun Travel.
Yeah.
Top Gun.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah. You said we got a pilot and somebody who thinks he's Tom Cruise. Man, I wish I was as cool as Tom Cruise, really. Tom Cruise
is crazy.
Oh my God, the guy's nuts. Nuts.
He is nuts. Isn't he a Scientologist?
Yeah. Crazy, right? But I tell you what, in one episode, there is okay, we're not major spoiler here, but who cares? It's on my Instagram.
You don't have a network behind you. Who cares?
We traveled to Rethymnos, I think it was. Yes, Rethymnos, and some miles off of Rethymnos anyway. So we go 3 hours driving around in zigzag patterns up to that freaking mountain there. And I'm so freaking hyped for that. I wanted to do that ever since I saw the first, ever since my first year in Crete, I saw the reclamation or something for that bungee jump. Always
you're jumping into a ravine, right?
Yeah. Yes, this is the highest or the second highest bungee jump in Europe. They market it that way. I don't know if that's true or not. So we get up there. I see the bridge. It's fucking sketchy, and I start shitting my pants, right? And Wahib's there, and I was like, okay, when I pitched him the idea, I was like, yeah, we're gonna do this and that, and we're gonna jump off that bridge. And he's like, nope,
not happening.
He's a pilot. Falling is against everything in his body.
That's what he said.
That's
exactly what he said.
I go this way.
That's what I tried to explain.
I get it.
And then I was so hyped. I was like, no, okay, I'm not as cool as Wahib. I can't say I'm a freaking pilot. So I'm gonna go the opposite direction, literally. So I signed up for that freaking bungee jump, and I'm sitting on that ledge there, and looking down, and you know how they say, it's cliche, but they say your life passes in front of you. Like the last few things that were awful in your life pass in front of you, and you sit on that ledge, and all I could think is like, come on, man, come on. Tom Cruise hung himself outside of a plane on one string, and he survived. He did it, man.
He's not okay. He has a mental
problem. He's not okay.
Problem.
I don't care, man. I don't care. He did it anyways. He did it for the shot, right? And as a good filmmaker, Wahib got incredible with the gimbal at that point. So I completely trusted him the whole camera work or something. And we had set up, I think, only the gimbal, right? Because they didn't let us use the GoPro. Yeah, out of safety reasons.
Yeah, just in case.
It falls off your hand or something and hits you in the face.
It could hit someone, or who knows.
Yeah.
Kill a goat.
So, yeah. and they strap me into that, harness or whatever.
Yeah.
And I go on that ledge, and I'm like, okay, be as cool as Tom Cruise, And the guy behind me goes like, okay, and don't forget to smile, and you're having fun, right? You're having fun. And this is a figure macria, jump far, you skinny ass bitch, because the rope's gonna go around your neck and kill you and whatnot. And no. They used a thick ass rope on me because I'm skinny as shit. So they used the rope for the fat people. And the guy was like, okay, you have to jump far. I thought I'm just gonna go over the edge. I'm just gonna fall, right? Tip over, and that's the end.
Jump out.
Yeah. No. You have to squat and you have to jump as far as you can, because if you drop dead down, right, there's a chance that the rope may catch around your neck and you basically hang yourself.
That's not fun.
No, that's not fun. And only if the funny thing is, I figured it out because I saw the harness, the systems and everything, and then my engineering mind went elsewhere, and I saw the safety system that was not existent, and I went crazy. Nice. Nuts. I went absolutely nuts, and I was like, "Shit, okay." He didn't say it's because the rope's gonna wrap around your neck. But
so hold on a second. You're sitting there at the edge of the highest point that you can bungee jump off of in all of Crete. There's an angry Greek man smoking and yelling at you about not, jumping wrong and strangling yourself.
Exactly.
As an engineer that there is no redundancy in this system.
Oh yeah.
And the only guys you guys find out if you jumped is if you watch the show in March.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Is he a pussy or is he Tom Cruise? You don't know. I mean, if you didn't jump, I wouldn't call you a pussy. I'm just saying. I would not fucking jump off.
See, that's what Wahib said. But he went like, if you don't jump, I'm gonna fucking kick you off that bridge.
He took all that time learning the gimbal, and then you pussy out.
Man, he dragged him up that mountain for 3 hours, and he was like, dude, if you don't jump, I'm gonna kick you off that edge.
But we don't know it, guys. We're not gonna spoil it. You gotta don't forget. 2 guys travel on YouTube, on Instagram. That's how you find out. I'm about to tell Wahid something that's gonna blow his mind.
Ooh.
Do you know the verb in English? Like, when you use a gimbal?
No.
To use, like the word to use, right?
To use. Yeah.
In English, when someone uses a gimbal, you're not using it. The proper term is flying it.
What?
Really?
Yep. I thought you'd like that.
Oh,
fly the gimbal. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Everyone learned something on Film My Hole. Everyone. I learned that Wahib is a pilot. I learned that George, let's not get into it again. I also learned that these guys have a show coming out in March. I'm calling this episode because I want people to go watch the show. I want to see the show. Send me the episodes. I want to watch them before, because then I'll decide if I'll put this out, because maybe it sucks and I don't want people to watch it. But if it is out, this episode, and you are watching it, it means I approved it. Guys, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
I'm gonna, because now it's time to call this show, right? We've been going for way too long.
Yeah.
And Zoom just gave me that, hey, you didn't pay us, so you only get this many more minutes. So it's going to shut down the call. Every Sunday after curfew, Montreal time, 8 p.m., Film My Hole, new episodes. Sometimes I'll have guests like these 2 guys. Sometimes I won't have guests. Sometimes these 2 guys travel, and you should follow them on YouTube. Follow them on Instagram. And you can follow me. If you need to find information about me, you guys know where it is in the description. My name is Phil Balabanos. George, Wahib.
See ya.
Happy travels.
See ya on TGT. Bye.
You've been listening to Film My Hole. This podcast is available on YouTube in its full video form. If you're lazy and you don't want to Google it and you don't want to search on YouTube, balabanos.com, hit the podcast section. You can subscribe directly to the RSS feed there. My name is Phil Balabanos, and I'll see you next time.